I feel like everybody has an addiction. Some people are addicted to weed, some people are addicted to alcohol, some people are addicted to cigarettes, PMO, and then there's me, who's addicted to Tinder. Now, a few days ago, I dropped a video called Why I'm Giving Up on Dating. And I did mean everything that I said in that video. I do plan on taking some more time to focus on myself and my career and just build myself up and enjoy life as a single 20-year-old man. But at the same time, looking back on it, I feel like my perception of dating is a little bit skewed because every girl that I've ever dated or talked to was a girl that I met on Tinder. And what I've learned since I got on Tinder is that Tinder is not really the place to be if you're looking for a long-lasting relationship. Tinder is not really the place to go. Now, I'm not going to sit here and try to place my limitations on you. These are subconscious beliefs that I had before I even got on Tinder and probably shaped my experiences. And also, I don't regret getting on Tinder in the first place because the experiences that I had shaped me into who I am today. So, I would do it all over again the same way if I could. But with that being said, I am done with Tinder. I'm done. It's over. Just like when I decided that I was done with PMO, I'm done with Tinder. It's that simple. Now, I've told myself this multiple times. I've told my friends that I'm not getting on Tinder anymore, and I would always end up getting back on. But this time is different because I'm making a video. So when I make a video on something, you know that it's for real. Now, let me go ahead and explain how I even became addicted to Tinder. So this all started in 2019, early 2019. I don't really remember when, but basically at the time, I was very lonely. I was very lonely and I didn't really want to admit it, but I was. And the reason why is because I wasn't working, I wasn't in school, and I just wasn't interacting with girls that much. Like, that's just keeping it real, and I said that in the Why I'm Giving Up on Dating video, but in my path, like in my day-to-day life, I don't really interact with girls that often, if at all. Weeks, months can go by where I don't talk to a girl my age. And when I say talk to, I don't mean like, talk to, like date. I mean like actually just have an interaction with. So I remember at some point throughout last year, my sister put me on to Tinder. She's the one that put me on. So I remember when I first got on, I wasn't getting any matches. I was not getting any types of matches at all. And this really messed with my confidence levels too. But, I wasn't getting matches, so I deleted it for a little bit. Later on in the year, I came up with this genius idea to make a video trying to pick up girls on Tinder. Now, that video, the first one, was basically a skit. I was not really taking it serious, and the reason why I was doing that was because, like I said, I wasn't getting matches. So the few matches that I was getting, I was like, you know what, let me just go ahead and entertain my subscribers with this. And thus, Tinder Tuesdays were born. Now, like I said, Tinder Tuesdays, those started off as a skit. Okay, they were not serious at all. They were just me playing around, just flirting, talking crazy to these girls. And once the episode was over, once I turned that camera off, that was the last time I would talk to those girls. Now, that changed later on in the year, probably around September or October. So, as I was doing these Tinder Tuesday videos, which, these were like a fan favorite basically. I didn't even like making these. After about the second episode, I thought that these were like cringy and, I didn't like to edit them. I didn't like to film them. I didn't like them at all. It didn't really represent who I was as a person, but like I said, my subscribers liked them. They got a lot of views and people found them funny. So, I kept doing them. Now, like I said, around September or October, I began to match with more girls pretty much out of nowhere. I don't know what happened. I don't know why. Maybe I just got better at taking pictures, but I began to match with more girls and specifically more girls that I found attractive. So, it went from something for entertainment to basically me documenting trying to find a girl. Now, I can't tell you which episode that transition happened where, I actually started to talk to these girls even after the camera was off. But I can tell you that in one of those episodes, and I'm not going to tell you which one, but in one of those episodes, I met the very first girl that I would go on a date with and, talk to and try to pursue a relationship with. And that failed horribly, but basically, that was like my introduction to dating. So, as this went on, I basically stopped making these videos out of respect for the girls that I was talking to because I felt like, it was kind of strange for me to be trying to talk to them and build a relationship with them, like a meaningful relationship, and I'm over here flirting with all of these other girls on Tinder for the camera. And also, whenever I would start talking to a girl and they would see those videos, because I wasn't going to hide my channel from them, when they would see those videos, it would basically turn them off instantly. And I remember, like I said, with the first girl that I talked to, that was pretty much the reason why we didn't really work out, is because she saw those videos, including the one that she was in, and she thought I was looking for something casual, which, looking back on it, she was perfectly justified in thinking that, because I came across as a player, and like I said, I wasn't. I was not a player, and I'm still not a player, and I don't think I'll ever be a player. That's just not who I am. But it's hard to explain that to somebody when they have this list of Tinder Tuesday videos to look at, and all they can do is take me at my word. So essentially, I hit a wall, and like I said, I stopped making the Tinder Tuesday videos, and I was just dating. I was basically dating for the rest of the year, just different girls, 2 different girls actually. Both of those situations failed, and I took a break from Tinder for a little bit, maybe like 3 weeks or so, which at the time, that felt like a very long time because I was on Tinder every single day. But then at some point down the line, I decided to get back on Tinder. Now, initially, I was not making any Tinder videos because, like I said, I didn't like to make them. I didn't want those to be the first thing that a girl would see if I showed her my channel. So I stopped making those videos, but I was still on Tinder doing the same stuff anyways. I was still on there just flirting. I don't even know what I was trying to do on there. I don't even think I was looking for a relationship. I was just flirting for fun. I was bored. I was bored and I was lonely. So I would be on there flirting all the time. And I figured, you know what? I might as well just make another video about this. So that's where the song lyrics on Tinder video came from. And I think that was the last Tinder video that I ever did. And that is the last Tinder video that I'm ever going to do, aside from this one. Now, late January, I met another girl on Tinder. And, this time I actually really caught feelings, like hardcore. So, I was off Tinder while I was talking to her. As soon as we went on our first date, I deleted Tinder and I was fully invested into her, and things didn't work out. And I was very, very emotionally scarred from that situation for a very long time. And for that whole time, I did not get back on Tinder. So from our first date, which was in February, all the way until about June, I was off of Tinder because I was just not in any type of emotional or mental state to be dating anyone. And then on top of that, we had quarantine and all of that, so I couldn't date anyone. And then in June, I began talking to another girl, but right before we went on our first date, I realized that I wasn't ready to date yet. So I canceled our date and I deleted Tinder again. But then for some reason, like I said, I was basically addicted to Tinder. I couldn't get off of it. Once I got back into that mindset of being on Tinder just for fun, just to pass time, I got back on it. I don't know when that was. It was probably in July at some time. Then I ended up matching with another girl. That didn't work out either. So at this point right now, I have decided that I am done with Tinder. None of these situations have worked out for me, and they all failed in the same way. And I realize now why they keep failing in the same way. And it goes back to something that I believed even before I got on Tinder in the first place. And that is that Tinder attracts 3 types of people. It attracts broken people, it attracts lonely people, and it attracts people looking for hookups. Of those 3, I would say I fall more in the second category. If I'm on Tinder, it's usually because I'm lonely. Whether I want to admit it to myself or not, it's usually because I am craving a female's presence. As far as being broken, people like to get on Tinder to look for rebounds. And a lot of the time it's not really like intentional, but it's just really easy when you are trying to get over a breakup, or, you got cheated on or whatever, and you're trying to move past that situation too fast. And you end up on Tinder because it's the easy thing to do. A lot of the time you're not in an emotional space to go out and interact with people to start dating again. So you go to Tinder and, you find a rebound, and it doesn't work out. It doesn't work out because you're not ready. You're not ready to start dating again. And I'm glad that I figured this out before I started trying to date again, after I went through the emotional trauma that I went through. And, I almost did, but like I said, I recognized this before I went out with the girl that I was about to go out with, and I canceled our date. It was that simple. So I'm glad that I was able to recognize that and avoid, more trauma for probably both of us. You have to understand that hurt people. And Tinder makes it very easy for this to happen. And then as far as hookup culture goes, I think that Tinder also attracts a lot of people who are scared of commitment. And, some people recognize that they're not ready to pursue a relationship yet. So they seek hookups instead. They seek casual situations, which I don't believe in casual hookups and all that stuff. But, the first girl that I talked to, like I said, she wanted something casual, and she assumed that I did too. But I didn't. And it's a shame because Tinder could be an amazing app for people like me who don't really get out of the house much, because I feel like it saves you a lot of time when you're trying to date someone. You're able to see if you have common interests or not before you take the time to meet someone. But at the same time, I feel like that's also a flaw in Tinder because it takes away that organic feeling, that organic interaction between two people. It's very unnatural, and having such a wide variety of people to choose from increases your standards tenfold. I noticed that my standards for Tinder are much, much higher than they are for girls in real life, especially as it relates to looks. A girl that I might find beautiful in real life, she might get that left swipe on Tinder. And then on top of that, it allows people to talk to so many people at the same time. And I think that that's why a lot of the people that I tried to talk to on Tinder couldn't hold a conversation. It's because they're trying to entertain too many people at once. So they don't have that depth to give you because they're dispersing their energy amongst too many people. This is why I personally don't believe in talking to multiple people at a time. Because if you're going to give somebody your energy, either go all in or go all out. If they're not worthy of your energy, then you shouldn't be talking to them anyways.